Hello sweeties! I'm having the best day ever. I've hit just over 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel, so thank you. So much love. I've also been asked to show you how I made the drop papers. So I'm going to start... let's see. We'll start with what they are, what you can do with them, and then all the different ways you can make these. This again, don't be precious. Think outside the box. Please don't go shopping specifically for stuff to make these. Okay? I'll break it down as best I can and you guys run with it from there, okay? But this is a project anybody can do, I promise. And I really hope you guys give it a go and let me know how it goes, link to me, whatever. But these are delicious, absolutely delicious. There's plenty of people on YouTube that show you how to do step by step. I cannot recall any of them by name. It's been a while since I've watched any of those. But drop papers, essentially the papers that you use when you're making something else and you just wipe off or stamp or save your paint or whatever. Those papers can be turned into this fabulous mess, and then this fabulous mess can be turned into anything from backgrounds for pieces, for cards, for ATCs, iCads. You can cut out flowers, which I'm going to do with some of these eventually. Do 3D embellishments. You could do anything. The sky really is the limit. Your imagination, let it run wild with these. I used for these particular ones, and I found some at Walmart so I could make this video for you. Packing paper. I also know this is butcher's paper or fish and chip shop paper. I found the 50 sheet pack for, I think it was about $4 at Walmart. I'm gonna see, check out Amazon and places online to see if I can't find it in bulk for cheaper for someday. This will do me for now. If you do not have this paper, do not stress. You can use book papers, and these are in various stages of layers. Phone book pages, actual book pages. What else did I have? Oh, under here. I found at Walmart, always check out, every store you go into, check out their clearance section first, I swear. Whether it's Hobby Lobby, Walmart, wherever you're at, check for a clearance aisle or section. Walmart had this Master of the Arts doodle roll. It is 25 foot of just white paper, I guess. I've not played with it before, but we might play with it for some of this. If not, I will make it into a journal or some such. But for $2 for 25 feet, like, I probably should have got the rest of them. They had a whole bunch. But I did get other stuff, with stencils and ribbon and some more paints. But that's a good idea. You could also use, let's see, under here, old maps. If you've seen my previous video on messy maps and painty papers, I tore out a chunk of map that I haven't used yet. We're going to do some on there just to experiment. Should work just fine. This, the Mr. saves for me. They get lots of packing papers and stuff. And this is just a brown craft paper. I've cut down the rest of it to this size. I'm going to make a book out of it, because that's what I do. But I figured for today, just to show you, you really can use anything. We're going to turn it into a drop paper as well. If all you have is newspaper, go get a thrifty nickel. Those are free. I don't know if you're somewhere where you get this. We get this delivered once in a great while as a freebie in the driveway. We're going to use this today as well. Well, I should say the next few days, because it takes me several days to do my drop papers. If all you have is cardboard, this is just a big chunk of a huge box that I cut down just to prove you can use anything. Let's see. If you have paper grocery bags, use those. Use whatever you can think of. Do not go out and buy stuff specifically, okay? The whole idea and my whole challenge to you today is use what you've got. Rummage through your house, look at all the stuff you saved for someday or whatever, and use what you have. That's why you still have it, right? Also, let's see, this is going to be the biggest project I've ever done, I think. Well, on camera. Normally I do these all over the floor. Make sure you have a ton of space, because it takes a lot of stuff to do these. You can do one at a time, or you can do like me, and I do a bit, chuck that aside to dry, work on the next bit, chuck that aside to dry, and I just keep rotating them. You can do it however you want. I don't use a heat gun or hair dryer to dry these. I just let them dry on their own. It gives me a break. I have to walk away, which sometimes is good, and other times when you're really in the flow isn't helpful. Let's see, that's the what. The why, well, why not? It's a heck of a lot of fun. I started doing it to use up paints that I'm not really fond of, and they're still going on strong even though I've used a lot of them. And you can use these for anything. You could do homemade gift wrap with these. You know, how cool would that be? I'd be tickled pink if I got gift wrapped something like this, especially if it was a handmade gift wrapped in handmade gift paper. Oh my god, wouldn't that be just stunning? Stunning. There are no rules to this. Let's see, we discussed the base. Use any substrate you can find. Depending on what you want to do with it, might depend on what works better, but just to give it a go, to see if you like it or not, or to learn how to do so many layers, just some old crappy paper will do. Use printer paper. Use whatever you've got, okay? Let's see. So that's base. Layers. If you get to doing layers and you're not sure if you should keep going or not, walk away for a while, come back. If you stare at it long enough, you'll see something or go, okay, that's kind of empty, I could put something there or something a little more there, or you can go on forever. There are no rules to this. If you think you've gone too far, like this one, that easily I could keep going on quite happily. Same as this one, which I'll do these side by side for you. Either of these, and I'm going to leave these, I think, I think I'm going to leave these as they are, but either of these, I really could, like where it's very dark here, I could go back and stencil something lighter on it, or splash more white, or something. Same as the drippy on this. I really could add probably some green to this one, I think. Yeah. But I also haven't come back and finished all the doodles. I started to, but I get really bored with doodling. I don't know why, it's just... I used to do it all the time, but I wasn't knitting so much then or doing other projects, so I'm not sure what's up with that. I may get back into it, I'm not sure. And right now, my love for glue books, all my time is spent cutting, just cutting out magazine images like crazy. Let's see what else. What do you need to make your layers? Well, again, that is completely up to you. What do you have? I used, let's see. I used everything from these cheap little kit acrylic paint things. I've got several of those I'm still using. This is a set I got from Walmart. So paints, I've got these bad boys, which I just got a few more of, and I'm seriously lacking in some colors. Like, I really wish I could afford one of every color, that's for sure. But this is what I've got so far. I've got these are brand new extra ones, but I've already got a couple of those going. These ones I usually leave for skin tones on fantasy girls and that kind of thing. Or, not fantasy. Whimsy, the Whimsy girls, which I'm not near as good at as I'd like to be, but I need to practice, which I will. But paints, you can use inks, alcohol spray inks, the food gel spray inks, actual distress inks and stains, whatever you've got. If it makes you happy, use that. The glitter in this, and I'll do it this way. I'm hoping it doesn't flash out too terribly. I always show it this way and you can't really see. But the glitter in this, I was brave and bought some of the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. It says Extreme Glitter Glitter. How funny is that? Anywho, that's what I used in this. And I'm not going to lie, it stinks really bad, but I absolutely love it. Which is funny because I'm not a frou-frou girl or anything. But oh my god, it makes your paper delicious. It doesn't feel sticky when it's dry, so much as it will stick to other stuff, or sounds like it sticks to other stuff. I haven't had a problem with it actually sticking to where anything tears if you pull it apart. I would though, and I don't have any right now, but I would do spray sealer or varnish it once you are done with all of your layers and everything is completely dry. Give this stuff time to dry, because even if it feels dry on top, it's a lot of layers and paper takes time for just everything in there to dry out. Okay, so paints, inks, mark making tools. Let's talk about those. I generally use cards, Bondo spreaders, palette knife. Let's see, I pulled out, I don't have tons and tons of stuff, but this is random stuff I do have. I got some of this out of a cookie tin, okay? It's that funky, protects the cookies so they don't break. I didn't eat any of the cookies, it was just a tin somebody gave me and it still had these in it. But I wrapped a couple of them around a paper towel roll and just glued it on, and I roll that in some paint and just roll it with my fingers across here. Let's see, I don't know if you can see any on there. Well, there's a little bit in these background layers here where I rolled, and this way where I rolled it across, and here. What it does do though, because I used a thicker acrylic paint to do that with, oh, there's a good example. All these lines here are made from that, but it's textured. It leaves those lines as tiny bumps, which is amazing to feel. So anything you've got like that is a win, or you can make. I've seen people use the cut out foam shapes and whatever and stick them to toilet paper rolls and stuff. I haven't got that far. I keep meaning to make some and I just haven't done it yet. You can use a sprayer, you can use the foam, squishy foam, whatever. You could put rubber bands and stuff around these, or cut it out and make shapes or prints or whatever. Toothbrush, flicking, dabbing, just wispy type shapes, palette knives. Never underestimate the power of hair stuff or beauty products. Let's see, this came from something in packaging. I also use a lot of makeup sponges. I use those in stamping. I just go all over without a stamp. You can cut them into shapes if you want to. When they're done, like this one's crunchy, I just cut that off and use the rest of it until there's just not enough to worry about. But those you can get. I got these at Sally Beauty Supply. I think it was $6 for a massive bag. I still have so many. I don't think I'll need to buy any more for years. But that was a really, really cool deal. Let's see. Oh yeah, doilies. Doilies are fun. Oh, for mark making, you could also use chopsticks or old, I don't know what I've done with it. There, no. If you have a paintbrush or a knitting needle or crochet needle or something like that, or an old pen, you can do your paint a little thicker and then doodle in it with a stick. That kind of thing for mark making. Doesn't matter. No rules. Don't be precious. If you do not have stencils, because some of these I made with stencils on top of the paper, some I did my trick where I lay the stencil under the paper and use the card to get the paint and get the effect of the stencil. We'll do more of that on these. But you can use doilies, paper doilies, crochet doilies, whatever you need. Do your sprays through them, move them, you'll have great images. Oh, excuse me. Let's see, what else do we need to cover? I'm not sure. Markers and stuff, I use Sharpie markers with the paint markers and just regular plain old black Sharpie markers. Whatever you've got, keep in mind stuff that's reactivated if it's wet. I know certain inks or watercolors, that type of thing. Keep an eye on that stuff. Or if you're not sure how your stuff works yet, if you just got new stuff and you need to experiment, what better way than to make an intentional mess? Oh, if you need to, you could spray seal in between layers to build that up so you don't get all that, unless you want it to meld together. That way you can't take a chance on it making mud. But if you are using materials that are likely to bleed into the next layer when it's wet again or whatever, I definitely would do a quick coat of spray seal in between, let it dry, and then do your next layers so they're all stacked instead of just bleeding into each other. I like some of them to bleed into each other, especially with the paints. Just as stuff's starting to dry, I might hit it up with a second color just to get a mixed effect, especially on my bright colors. I like that. Let's see, I think that covers all of our bases. I think. What I am going to do, and it's going to take several days for me to do this video because it's piece by piece. It needs time to dry in between, but I'll probably speed it up to some degree so you can see what I'm doing. None of it's difficult or rocket science, but if it is confusing at any stage or you do have questions, please ask in the comments below, because I will do everything I can to help you guys figure this out, because it really is so much fun. I want everybody to be able to do this. You'll have so much collage fodder or ATCs or book covers, or, you know, sew them into a book. You know, you've got instant backgrounds. You can do anything you want with it. These are flexible, at least mine are. So yeah, let's have some fun. Alright, I'll see you in a little bit. Hey guys, before we jump into it, I had a thought. You could do this, mine are random, but you could make drop papers that are themed or color coordinated or any of that. So I don't want you to think that I'm telling you this is how it needs to be done, because it's not. Whatever's cool for you, whatever makes you happy, do that. But yeah, as far as stencils or patterns or any of that goes, down to colors, you might want to do, you know, just black and white. That would be cool as well. But definitely do whatever makes you happy. Alright? Oh, and I forgot to mention, this packing paper that I got at Walmart is 22 inches by 22 inches, which I believe is 55 point something centimeters squared. Okay? Okay, I think that's all I needed to add. Oh, no. Think outside the box also as far as mark making. I don't know if you remember primary school or grade school or any of that. Take the bottom of like celery. It makes the coolest rosette looking shape, dip it in paint and just do prints. You could carve potatoes, whatever your thing is. Dip things in. I like to use lids off of stuff. You can dip the lid itself in, or this side, and do circles. You can do solids or just outlines. There's no rules here, okay? Okay. Oh, and you can add, if you wanted to, depending on what you're doing with it again, you could add strips of washi tape, or do actual ink stamping, or any of that. Whatever you've got, use it. Okay? We're going to throw everything we can at these things. Alrighty, I will jump in, speed it up, and then I'll see you at the end. Okay. For the now, love you, bye. Hello my sweeties. Okay, it's been 3 days, 2.5 days of making mess. Some of the thicker parts still haven't dried all the way through, but I figured I'd show you where we were at. And I apologize, the glittery bits are just going to flush out. There's not really a lot I can do about that, I don't think. And it is late at night, so I don't have natural daylight coming through the window currently. But here is our chunk of cardboard with plenty of tasty layers. Some are glittery, some are not. I've doodled a little bit on this, but not a whole lot. Honestly, I get bored doodling anymore. It used to be my thing a long time ago, but that was before I learned how to slap paint on everything. This was our map page, and someplace, well, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but I can see through little bits here in the very background where it's still map. And you can do as many layers as you want with these. There are no rules. I put like all the colors on there, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Also, I didn't use all of the stencils that I pulled out. In fact, I used very few of them, just because it was more messing around than I wanted to. Some of these I might do more on, but for the now, the drop papers are done for me for now. I might wait till I get some paint pens or something, and do more on the dark spots, but for the moment these are done. Now these are also really flexible. They weigh a lot more than they did, but they do bend. Now that you've made drop papers, if you so choose to give it a go, keeping in mind you can use anything, there are no rules. Oh, see, I can't even pick it up, it's so big. Okay. I don't know if you guys, I'm hoping you'll be able to see some of the layers there. We added a little collage, not terribly much, just some of the Tim Holtz fancy papers there. You could add tissue or napkins or whatever you wanted. These I plan on using as backgrounds in the art journal or as ATC backgrounds. I'm not sure yet which ones. This one I didn't like several layers back, and now I like it again, so that's funny. And if I did anything else to this one, no, I think it just needs focal points, focal images now, honestly. It's got some doodling, not a lot, and yeah, it is just layers and layers and layers. And I think I've pretty much used up almost all of my old nail polishes now, so that's fun. If you do use nail polish, definitely have an extra fan pointed towards your stink and out a window, because it will just stink up an area. Okay. Let's see, this was our newspaper. Yeah. This one was our newspaper. We started mostly on that side and it just grew. I'm not sure if I'm done with this one or not. I mean, I am for now. Yeah, I can't even pick these up to show you, which is terrible. Doesn't have quite as much glitter on it as the other ones do. And I'm loving this huge mandala stencil. But I think I'm going to keep it for more spray paint type art than I am this, because it took way longer than I wanted to. Yeah, I think I need more doodles and something on this one. I just don't know what yet. But that's our newspaper. Okay, and this is our last one. Yes. And it's just a drop sheet. And I don't know if I'm done with it either. I need to just walk away from it for a while, but I might do something like big swirls or something. Huh. Actually, I might do that now. Yeah, I'm going to do that now. Okay guys, this is the final one. Once this pink is dried, I'll probably just do some scribbles with some Sharpie, just regular Sharpie marker, but I'm calling them all done. But that is how I make my drop papers, at least for the time being. Please do all the YouTubey things, like, subscribe, ring my bell. If you have any questions, please comment below, and I will do my best to get back to previous requested videos now that I've got this one out of the way. Thanks for being here, you guys. I love you. Bye!